we go for the first time in 2026, the Monday edition, Mr. Relevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All studio. At the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, DiMaggio is here. Will Sommers is here doing cleanup in the studio. What do you? Sit down. We've been gone for 2 weeks. Too busy cleaning up. Will Sommers is here. Hunter Vaughn's back in the Everlight Solar studio running the show for us. Good to be back with you after a couple weeks off for all of us. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. Spent some time with some loved ones. Ate some good food. Drank some good beverages. Watched some good sports. And now back to reality on this Monday. I gotta be honest. I had a hard time getting up this morning. I imagine Joshy did too. I didn't really hear from Joshy at all during his 2 weeks off. So excited to see what kind of mood he's in today. I would hope refreshed and optimistic and happy, but I guess we'll see. Happy New Year, Joshy.
It's too far past. Can't say Happy New Year anymore.
Is that the Larry David rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This chair's stuck.
I thought the Larry David rule was the 7th.
Whatever it is. I'm over Happy New Year. We're moving on.
We're on to Chicago.
We're on to Chicago. Yeah. We're on to moving on.
I like it.
You're gonna hear from me by design.
Yeah, outside of like very few exceptions. I asked you how your best ball went, which not well apparently.
I turned 500 into 750. It just wasn't $100,000. So,
would you come into work had you made $100,000? Yeah, you'd still come into work.
Course. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if maybe you'd take like
a
year-long sabbatical.
No. I just have a new house.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, plenty to get into. Obviously, we have not been with you since original, like on the video platform on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. We have not been with you since before the Bears game. And the Packers have not won since. Jordan Love got hurt in that game, so a lot's happened there. Will and I have some life updates to share at some point in the show. We'll probably do that in what we missed. We also have to figure out
life updates.
Yeah, we got some life updates to give you guys. And then also at some point today, we will tell you who the loser of our NFL game picks is and who will be spending the weekend at Will's house this weekend. Or will be spending the weekend with Hunter, depending on who loses. I've
got a bad feeling about my standings.
Didn't go well this weekend?
No.
Well, we'll get to that at some point. But I want to start with the Green Bay Packers.
Also, is this weekend the best? It sounded great initially, but with the Packers playing, likely everyone involved here having some sort of responsibilities on Saturday, it looks like it's turning into a morning with Will.
It would be a very brief Saturday.
I was going to say.
What's he doing right now?
We have Marquette pregame starting at, I believe, 12:30 on Saturday.
Yeah,
And does that mean you're working?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, it sounds like this is getting shifted to divisional round weekend.
Certainly might be. All right, we'll get to that later. Save it.
I was just thinking about it like, that's not even really a bet at that point.
No.
It's like, hey, go hang over at Will's house.
Let's go make breakfast.
Yeah.
The Packers playing Saturday night is what screwed this. Because that had been Sunday, it would have been good. Matthew, Joe, Ariel, Dr. Dan, Levi, good to see you in the chat. ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Thanks for being back with us in this new year. So the NFL regular season over and done with. The Packers finished the year 9-7-1. For the third straight year, they'll be the 7th seed in the NFC. And they lose their final 4 games. At one point, they were 9-3-1. They lose their final 4 games to make it 9-7-1. But a playoff spot solidified. They don't play anybody yesterday. We're not going to talk about the game yesterday. It was sloppy. It was gross. Matt LaFleur kicks a field goal to avoid the shutout with 1 second left. Don't really understand that move, but hey, neither here nor there. The Packers lose to Minnesota in Week 18. But again, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's coming up Saturday. What matters is Saturday for the Packers, going to Chicago and playing the 2-seeded Bears is the best case scenario for the Packers. It's the best case scenario. It is the shortest travel. It is the team you know the best. It is a team you've already played twice and should have beaten twice. It's a team you've played twice, and in 120 minutes of regulation, you have controlled 118 of those 120 minutes. So all in all, this is the best case scenario. And by the way, Jordan Love hasn't played in 2.5 weeks. He is as healthy as he's been all season. So put all that together, and this is primed for Green Bay to go to Chicago and, I guess in terms of seeding, get an upset win. But when you look at sports books, the Packers already favored less than 24 hours into us knowing that this is officially the matchup Saturday night in Wild Card Weekend. This is a awesome scenario. This is only the second time in the modern era these two teams will match up in the postseason. We know how that first one went. That was the 2010 NFC Championship game, which the Packers ultimately won and then won the Super Bowl. Second time in the modern era. It's in Chicago for the second time. I love that this is the matchup. Don't get me wrong. I said on the postgame show yesterday, I felt good about either of the Packers' opportunities this weekend. I think they can get a win wild card weekend, no matter who their opponent would have been, had it been Philadelphia or Chicago. I feel a little bit better about Chicago because their defense is not good, whereas Philadelphia's is. But I just think sitting your starters and almost treating yesterday like a palate cleanser, like, hey, anybody that's going to make a significant impact next weekend, you're not playing. So don't pay attention to the result. Heal up as much as you can. It's a new season. Everybody's 0-0. And let's put our focus on winning one game at a time in the postseason, even without Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft and Devontae Wyatt. So the palate cleanser yesterday, on to the postseason. Best case scenario in my eyes, Joshy, it's Packers-Bears Saturday night, which I'm very excited about.
I mean, I believe I described this matchup as the best case scenario for the Packers season. Because getting the revenge and being able to beat them, that team on the road, feeling as high and mighty as they did after the miraculous comeback against the Packers. I do feel like at this point we kind of know exactly how this game's going to go, which in a way does remove a little bit of the interest. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to a couple plays, and it's probably going to end in less than a 6-point victory for whatever side. I think the Packers are, I mean, aside from the Panthers, who don't deserve to be there, are the best suited to beat the Chicago Bears. Like, if I were to pick any opponent that I think they're capable of beating, and I'm the most confident, it's the Bears. And that's a good thing. I don't know how much it matters to the grand scheme of things, because I do still think the season overall will be a disappointment. But that's also considering the fact, like, I understand how much injuries have played into it and things haven't gone necessarily the Packers' way. But without Micah Parsons, without Tucker Kraft and the mounting injuries, you kind of just look at it and go, well, you probably can go beat the Bears on the road, travel to the Seahawks, keep it close, and end in a disappointing loss.
Yeah, I mean, look, all things considered, this has been a really wacky year for Green Bay. 9-7-1 is not a good record. Their over-under win total was 9.5. They hit the under by losing 4 straight. I'm tied up in, can they rattle off 2? Right, just get to the NFC Championship game, because obviously expectations change when you trade for Micah Parsons. The expectation was go win a Super Bowl. I still don't think that's attainable without Kraft and Parsons and even at their Devontae Wyatt and then the best run stopper. But can they win 2? I think they can beat Chicago. And again, I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just looking overall now that we have a bracket and now that we know what it would look like. It would be Chicago. If they win there, they go to Seattle the following week. I don't know, man. Seattle's good, but it's as much as Sam Darnold can give them is as far as they're going to get. They have a good defense. They have good weapons. Charbonnet's for real. That guy's a dog. Obviously, JSN has had a terrific season. Sam Darnold, all things considered, has had a really good season. But is that a guy who can throw 3 interceptions in a big time playoff game? My answer is yes. You know, he'll throw the ball away. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if they can get at least to the. I guess you bring up disappointment no matter what. If they get to an NFC Championship game, is that still a disappointment? Is ultimately why I'm trying to hash through that.
I think that's fine, and most people will recognize it. I think even beating the Bears and losing to the Seahawks, a lot of people will probably be like, "Yeah, given the circumstances, that's fine." But I'm just talking in terms of its title town, you acquired Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
You have an ascendant quarterback and a head coach you believe to be good. That's underachieving still, even with the circumstances. Like, the season still is going to leave most likely a bitter taste in your mouth. Like, I don't think anyone here is here for moral victories. Based on the way people have talked about Matt LaFleur over the past day or all day today, it doesn't seem like people are that gung-ho about him or that certain about him remaining a member of the Green Bay Packers staff. I think it would be really short-sighted to move on from him. You could hit a home run on the other end, or you could end up much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any changes coming.
No, I think Ed Policy made that pretty clear.
Well, then again, that was PR speak, right? And you're referring to the monthly newsletter at Packers.com.
Policy's perspective. I mean, he offered that unannounced.
Yeah, that was the intro. Yeah,
it wasn't even a question.
But I mean, but again, it's hey, we made the playoffs, and I've pointed this out several times. You can be I think two things can be true, right? You can be frustrated about the fact the Packers are the 7th seed for the 3rd straight year when that wasn't even a playoff seed a couple of years ago. But you should also acknowledge it's really hard to win in this league. It's really hard to make the playoffs in this league as consistently as Matt LaFleur has 6 of his 7 years. But the 7th seed 3 years in a row, of course, is.
I've seen people try and make that argument. You know how many teams have made the playoffs the 3 past years?
I would imagine that number's low. I'm going to try to calculate it off the top of my head. I would guess it's probably 2 or 3.
It's like 5 or 6.
It's that many?
But it's still less than half. Like there aren't many teams doing what the Packers are doing, even if it's at the 7th seed.
Because the Niners missed last year, right?
I believe so, yes.
So Packers, Eagles were going to be the only two in the NFC that came to my mind. And then AFC, the Chiefs didn't make it, so the Bills would be in there.
Yep.
That might be the end of the list.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Texans, maybe?
Texans were they have been in playoffs the past 3 years.
Broncos, no, they didn't make it 2 years ago.
They were really bad 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably those 5. Or
Yeah.
4, or whatever we got to.
Yeah.
So.
It's hard to maintain that level year after year and to make sure you get into the playoffs. I mean, the NFC North, every single team has a winning record.
Which is bizarre. I think that's only the 3rd time ever. That a division has had all 4 teams with a winning record and above a team that made the playoffs.
Yes.
A better record than a team that made the playoffs, which, to your point, is why Carolina shouldn't be there. Yeah, we got to do something about that. The win and you're in thing, it should have been what it was on Saturday. And I understand there's tiebreakers and that's how it works, but Tampa Bay beating Carolina should have just gotten them in. That irritated me, but neither here nor there. Hunter, go ahead.
Josh, the whole like Packers getting the 7th seed the last 3 years is part of that. I've seen that argument combined with because they expanded the playoffs, that's the only reason the Packers have even gotten in the last 3 years. So they're just lucky that the NFL was greedy and wanted more money. Which I also think is a very weak argument, but I think it's a part of this too for the frustration.
I think being a football fan, the football fans we all are, we can acknowledge adding the 7th seed was a good move, not just for the monetary aspect, right? Because the 3rd wild card team, what have you, typically has a better record than the 4th seed, right? So, and that's the case in both divisions or both conferences this year. The 7th seed in the AFC and the 7th seed in the NFC have a better record than the 4th seed.
And you have to it removes all context from sort of what goes into an NFL season and how the Packers have winning records in all 3 of those years. They have if you probably were to total them all together, the teams over the past 3 years, the Packers would be a top 10 team, which you would say is probably a team you expect to be in the playoffs every time.
Right.
And there are weird quirks, and you can have a winning record and not make it, but it's pretty obvious the teams that deserve to be there. The Packers last year lost to the Super Bowl champion, and the year before that went in and smoked Dallas. They belong, and they've belonged every single year, and it's been very obvious every single year. It's not like they're some whim, some luck. I would say they earned a playoff spot more than the Carolina Panthers did.
Despite losing to them. Yeah,
Yes.
I totally agree. So, this is, but all things considered, all of that aside, right? You could be upset it's the 7th seed for the 3rd straight year, and Josh, you just made my point for me, which is, they've made the playoffs 3 years in a row, which is really hard to do. You look at last year, right? Think about the best teams in the league last year. Detroit, Washington, Baltimore, Kansas City, all out of the playoffs. All didn't even make the playoffs this year. That was most of your Final Four. So yeah, it's hard to make the playoffs, and that, I still think LaFleur deserves at least a bit of credit for that. Now, can you? I ultimately think, Joshy, and I guess it's dependent on what he does, because if they somehow rattle it off and win the Super Bowl, then yeah, he's extended. But if they win a playoff game, lose divisional round, I think it's probably one more year. Add another year to that contract.
I don't know, man. I find it hard to believe Matt LaFleur lets it happen. Because right now the Packers need him more than the inverse.
You think? He'll get a job. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Correct.
But he'd get a bad job. I mean, look at the jobs that are open right now. Rebuilding Arizona. Atlanta's not a bad job.
No.
Tennessee's a bad job. The Giants are a bad job.
Are they?
Yeah.
Jackson Dart?
Well, the offense is up and coming, so it would be a good fit
And
for him.
their defense is
They got a good D line.
studs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
really
actually
good
a
D-line.
good job, I think.
Yeah, you actually might be right
The
about that.
problem is the Maras as the
Right.
ownership is but like there's talent there.
Dysfunctional organization, but good players right now.
Yeah.
Good young players.
But also, how much does Matt LaFleur care about what the job is when he's able to charge whatever team that is the most? Like, he would reset the head coaching market
Yeah.
because he would have his pick of the litter.
That's a good point by you. I forget that maybe he does have a little bit of say in what the offer
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's say, because he still has a year on his contract, so he's back in 26, likely no matter what. If whoever's making that decision, whether it be Ed Policy or Brian Gutekunst,
I think if they don't come to extension, you sort of have to fire him. That puts you in a really weird spot with a lame duck coach. Like, you're probably better off at that point just moving on because he's just going to leave you.
yeah.
And who
Would
knows what that's going to do with the team dynamics?
would they get crazy and try and trade him?
No. The fact they even traded for a star player is unlike them. I don't think they're trading
Yeah,
coaches.
new era in Green
When's the
Bay.
last time? Can you Google for me? When was the last time a coach was traded?
I'll
I
look
believe
it
there was
up.
compensation for Sean Payton.
Yeah,
there was. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
And then before that, I
You're
believe it
cookie.
was John Gruden from Tampa to Oakland. Or the
Yeah, it
other
was
way. Whatever it
Two
was.
first round, 2 second round, and
Yeah,
cash.
that one was crazy. But I guess when you want your guy, you go get your guy no matter what. And it's worked for Denver, who's the number 1 seed in the AFC, year 2 of the Sean Payton era. So very good stuff there. All right. Couple of things on Packers Bears, and obviously we'll talk about this all week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on Mr. Irrelevant. Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers, Hunter Vaughn with you on this beautiful Monday, our first show of the calendar year, ahead of Wild Card Weekend, which is going to be a really fun one, man. There's some really good matchups this weekend. And Will, you texted me this last night, and I'd be curious on Josh and Hunter's perspective, because I answered yes, but you asked me, I forget exactly how you phrased it.
I said, is this the craziest NFL season of all time that you can remember?
And I think the answer is yes. From games to results to standings to turnarounds to...
Like, year in and year out, you get the complaint about the Thursday night games being horrible, and I really didn't hear that a lot this year.
No, there were some
like,
good
sure, there were
Thursday
some
games.
bad ones, but you also had, like first thing that comes to the top of my mind is you look at the matchup Falcons-Buccaneers. You think it was going to be a horrible game, and then Baker Mayfield fumbles with the game on the line. The Falcons win in a crazy game.
I think the end of the season was a whimper.
Because most of the teams were decided. But then yesterday kind of stunk.
On
things
Sunday, there wasn't a game with 2 teams playing for something.
Except Sunday Night Football,
Correct.
which you were probably asleep.
Correct.
Oh, dude.
Raj.
Dude.
I mean, the fact that
You got every
such a
level
good
of
game.
vintage Aaron Rodgers in 3 minutes.
the Ravens just decided to kneel it out instead of trying to gain more yardage, crazy. It's not Justin Tucker back there. Get closer.
Right, but it was a kicker. I understand he's a rookie in terms of Tyler, what is it, Tyler Loop? Loop-de-loop. He had not missed a kick all season inside of 50.
Yeah, I mean, you still just...
Well, right, I agree with you.
It's your entire life.
Correct.
Well, did you see what the Steelers did? They had a priest bless the side of the field that he missed.
Yeah,
the field goal.
I did see that. The holy
I also
water.
saw them doing the launch thing, which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson was tweeting about
I
that.
did see that. But Aaron Rodgers last night, I mean, it was vintage Rodgers in every level, right? In terms of the vintage play, scored the touchdown on a route he drew up to Calvin Austin in the huddle. And then after they take the lead with less than 2 minutes to go, just over a minute to go, Rodgers sees his special teams attempt to screw him, which we've seen many times on Green Bay. Chris Boswell misses the extra point, which only gives Pittsburgh a 2-point lead then. And then as Josh, you just pointed out, as Baltimore did all night, they just drove right down the field and got themselves in prime field goal position. So another example of Rodgers' defense attempting to lose him the game after he just won it with 70 seconds to go. And then luckily Tyler Luke missed the kick. You also saw Rodgers complaining and burning 2 timeouts while yelling at Arthur Smith, his offensive
Changed his
coordinator.
helmet like 3 times.
Yeah, dude, that was a roller coaster. I found myself yelling at the TV like he was still playing for the Packers. That was awesome.
The fact he's debating coming back for this another year.
Dude, hang it out.
I think he should.
But there's moments where he looks really old.
Yes.
But there are moments where he looks...
That's going to be him until he can stand on 2 legs.
Right.
He had a scramble last night where I was like, wow, that didn't really look that bad at all. Kind of looked like the old Rod.
But then a guy gets within 3 feet of him and he collapses to the ground because he wasn't ready to take off.
I will say, watching him get hit is
Yes.
I hold my breath every time.
Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah.
And for that team, I mean, they're so bad.
No, they're not good.
Did you see the Tomlin celebration after, too?
The
where he did the
pound the
kiss?
chest and then the kiss, yeah.
That was
that was him saying, hey, MFers, I just saved my job.
Yeah.
I just saved my job. You can stop the commentary of me out of Pittsburgh now.
That is just, they are the definition of purgatory.
Oh, yeah.
Never any good, but just good enough to be in the playoffs.
I wouldn't say never any good.
Never any good.
They're never better than good.
No, they're never any good.
They're constantly mid. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, and you can't win in the NFL if you do that. You have to have a down year in order to actually get good again.
Eagles-Niners is the sexiest game on the schedule, right?
Easily.
And that's the Sunday afternoon game.
That game could turn into like a sloppy, low scoring, which I don't think anyone wants.
High-powered offense against really good defense.
Yes.
And then a bad offense against a good
I
bad
didn't love their choice for the Sunday night game. I thought that would be Packers-Bears. I figured that would be the Sunday night game. Sunday night game is Patriots-Chargers, which could be okay, I guess.
Nah, they're going to get smashed.
I think so, too. Patriots are for real. But again, to Will's question on this being the craziest NFL season and this season having just the utmost parity we've seen in so long, right? I mean, like, look at the teams that turned it around this year. Patriots go from worst to first. Bears go from worst to first. Those are both the 2 seeds in the AFC and NFC respectively. The Jaguars are the 3 seed and look like a real contender. The NFC West is just absolutely stacked with the Seahawks, the Rams, the Niners.
What did the Texans start the season at, too? They were, what, like 0-4 or something like that?
I don't know if they were 0-4, but they were bad.
They were bad.
Really
Haven't they won like 9 straight games?
Yeah, something like that.
They're incredible.
And Seahawks have won like 7 or 8 in a row. I don't know who the best team is, right? I think we all kind of thought it was the Rams, but then they lose to the Falcons last Monday night. I don't know who the best team is. I don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl. But that's fun. The Bills don't have an excuse this year, which is fun. But they're a 6th seed, right? Like, that's not an easy path. That means they got to win likely 3 road games. I mean, the Chargers aren't going to make it to the NFC Championship. Yeah, they're going to have to win 3 road games. So, but the Bills, there's no Mahomes, there's no Burrow, there's no Lamar. In terms of Josh Allen's legacy, it should be all about the Bills in the AFC, but they're the 6th seed. Weird things happen when you go on the road. I have no idea what to make of this playoff bracket.
Can we stop doing the Monday Night Football game, though, of Wild Card, and just do 3 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday? Yeah. I hate giving a team one less day.
One more day or one less day? You mean the following week?
Yeah, the following week, then the winner. Like, you lose, I don't care. Yeah, whatever. But, no, I hate giving a team then going into the divisional round one less day.
I'll tell you what, dude. Thank goodness the Packers rested their starters. Because speaking of one less day, go from Sunday to Saturday, the Bears played all their guys. Now, you can still get 6 days. That's effectively a full week. So it's not like you can really use that as an excuse. It's not like they're playing Thursday. But I don't love that. I don't love that the Packers got to rest their. I mean, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm saying I don't love that the Packers got to rest their guys, but the Bears didn't, and you only get 6 days rather than the full 7. But
they're football players; they play football.
Yeah, true. They're paid millions of dollars. I probably shouldn't complain on their behalf, huh, Joshy?
No, I was referencing.
We have the video. I did want to talk about this at some point because Ben Johnson can't get out of his own way, man. We've talked a ton about his introductory press conference saying how he loves to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year. Went 1-1 in the regular season this year against Matt LaFleur. Really should have gone 0-2 against him. But he'll have the opportunity, I guess, to beat him twice in the same football season. Then after they were lost to the Detroit Lions in a game where the Bears defense just looked atrocious, Ben Johnson goes to the podium and they say, hey, you're going to be playing Green Bay. Why did you play your starters today after seeing Philadelphia didn't when you were both competing for the 2 seed? Here's what the Bears' first-year head coach had to say following their loss to the Lions yesterday.
We're quickly turning the page here. Everyone's disappointed. I appreciate, like I said, their effort. Some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football, and we felt like it was really important that we were playing our best ball here today, and we didn't get that job done. And so we're quickly turning that page, and now we got a home game coming on up, and there's a way to win this next game, and that's what we're going to be solely focused on.
We play football. Oh, okay, Ben. And I love how he goes, well, we really wanted to play our best ball going into the playoffs. And then they got embarrassed by a team that's not in the playoffs on their home field.
His tough guy thing is so much less convincing than Dan Campbell.
Oh, dude,
to me.
Totally.
And I'm not even saying anything about him like as a head coach. I think he's done a good job. I think the changes are evident in the Bears team, but I feel like he's actively trying to sell it to everyone else as he's like, he recognizes this isn't really his gig or his thing, but he's trying to come off that way. Mm-hmm. And it, to me, it's not convincing.
It's not even close to the Dan Campbell thing, which, by the way, teacher versus student. The teacher went 2-0 this year. Lions sweep the Bears in the regular season. And a little bit of mixed reaction coming in. Matthew says, what a tool of a coach. Josh says, that's spoken like a first-year head coach. Dr. Denver Dan says, I personally didn't see that as a shot at the Packers. He said, we tried and lost. SHIT happens. Sure. I mean, I hear you on that.
It was for sure a conversation. It might not have been only at the Packers.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was at the Eagles, too.
Yes.
Right.
And all the teams. I mean, who else did? The Bills,
a bunch
Broncos.
Of teams. But I think specifically the Packers, who was their opponent next week, and then the Eagles, who that was the team they were competing for the 2 seed with. Now, ultimately, both of them lost. Washington tanked their draft stock by, I think, 2 or 3 picks by beating the Eagles yesterday, moving from 4-12 to 5-12 rather than 4-13. I think the Washington went from pick 5 to pick 7 or pick 8.
Yeah, they have 7 now.
Thank you, Washington. I would much rather go to Chicago than Philadelphia, though I think both of those games were winnable for Green Bay in Wild Card Weekend. But that's where we're at. So that's what Ben Johnson has to say about that. Here is what Matt LaFleur said about resting starters. He said he kind of backed up his decision after the game, but then makes one comment that kind of stuck out to me, and I want you to listen to it and see if you hear the same thing. Here's Matt LaFleur after the Packers lost to the Vikings on resting his starters in the regular season finale.
I think we did the right thing today in regards to trying to, and we'll see. Time will tell. But I feel better about this certainly than I did a year ago after the game. It was a double whammy when we lose the game and you lose like a key player for us to go into that run. So I thought this was the best decision.
So I agree with him. I think ultimately getting healthy and being as healthy as possible had to be the number one priority over winning yesterday against Minnesota when you're locked into the playoff seed of number 7. But the thing that stuck out to me was when he said, time will tell. Because I don't know that anybody's going to bring up the narrative next week, Monday. If the Packers lose, say, which I don't think will happen, but if it does, it's very possible it does. If the Packers lose Wild Card Weekend, I don't think we're coming back here Monday and going, well, I guess they should have played their starters against Minnesota.
People will. At very least if Jordan Love doesn't play well.
And then they'll drop the Malik Willis should have started.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It'll be great.
I mean, come on here.
Just the chaos part of my brain wants that to happen.
You know, Rob Domofsky, brought this up on Green Bay Game Day yesterday, and it was about how back in 2016, people were bringing up how Jeff Janis should get opportunity over Devontae Adams. Or maybe it was 2015. That's this year's version of that. Malik Willis should start over Jordan Love. That's the same as Jeff Janis over Devontae Adams. Like, it's just so asinine and unbelievable. I hate it.
Part of you loves it, though.
I mean, I love fans being fans, right? Like, you can say whatever you want.
But I don't like it. There seems to be an anger behind the Malik Willis people, and I don't know where that comes from.
I don't either. I don't either. It's because, you know what it is? It's people find him massively entertaining. He is very fun to watch. I'm not disagreeing with that because he has the mobility. He's got a little, I don't want to compare him to Favre, but it's almost like, hey, what's going to happen next, like Favre did? And he's not a Hall of Famer like Brett Favre, but he's got kind of the, I don't really know what's going to happen here factor, which is it's visually pleasing when you watch the game. It just is. It's fun to watch. It makes the game fun. And I think people that, those same people probably find Jordan Love a little boring because he doesn't turn the ball over a lot.
Let's just call it what it is.
Efficient.
It's a casual take.
Yeah. I mean, it's not knowing ball for sure. But
it's that of the casual observer. Which is fine. You can have that opinion. Malik Willis is going to earn the opportunity to maybe start somewhere, but there's also a chance a young guy beats him out. The offense changes, and maybe you like his play, Matt LaFleur's play calling more because of the running aspect, and that's a style you'd like to see the Packers run more. That's not Jordan Love's game, but the offense efficiency would certainly decline.
Yeah.
You also got to think like Malik Willis played, 2 games in 2024, and he's a vastly different quarterback than he is this year. So how are teams supposed to prepare for that, knowing that he was just going to be a world beater?
Look, Malik is likely, I mean, I guess I don't know what the quarterback market's going to look like, but Malik is likely going to get an opportunity to at least go compete for a job. If he wins that job, great, and then we'll see. We'll see how good he actually is. But, I mean, what Matt LaFleur's done with him and what Malik Willis has been able to do in his few opportunities with the Packers is super impressive. And as Packers fans, it's awesome to have a backup quarterback where you feel confident you can win football games with him. But 10 times out of 10, especially going into the playoffs, this wild card weekend game, I'm picking Jordan Love, man. I don't want to see Malik Willis on Saturday. If they implement a package where maybe a play or two Malik Willis takes over, I wouldn't hate that.
What if they rotate drives?
Shut up. Will, what do you make of this comment?
System. Love it.
You know what they say, when you got 2 quarterbacks, you got 2 quarterbacks. Batman Shadow 1 says...
Great username.
The whole ESPN Milwaukee staff loves to over-exaggerate when talking about the Bears. Isn't this the clown who said the Bears messed up on drafting Loveland, LOL? What do you make of that comment?
You?
Yeah, that's referring to me.
I also made a remark, but I thought Loveland was already drafted. I was working very hard back here, and I wasn't able to keep track.
Look,
I mean, he's the Bears' leading receiver this year, which is remarkable as a rookie and a tight end.
I'll say this. I thrive on Bears fans' tears. So when a couple weeks ago, I was off. I've been off, obviously, the last few weeks. I don't know what happened. Colston Loveland must have done something in the Bears game. Who'd they play after the Packers?
49ers. He had a
Yes,
really
it was the
good game
49ers
against
game. It was the Sunday night game.
That was an
Which was, by the way, that was a terrific football game. But right before that game, all day, the video on Twitter of me laughing resurfaced and got like 900 replies. I got so many, let's just say KYS DMs from Bears fans, several of them, which is always lovely to receive. I don't reply because I never said they messed up by taking Loveland. I just laughed hysterically. And I hate that I'm misquoted, but it's okay.
Yeah. I think it's good that you laugh. Football's fun.
Football is fun.
Well, it's I did feel like, as your producer and then being the video producer on that draft coverage too, felt bad for you. Just from the sense of like, we're missing a huge chunk of context to why you were laughing, but I'm going to take it because like, I know it doesn't really bother you, but I'm just like, I'd explain that to my wife even because she saw it on her Twitter.
And the good news is, Will, you were wrong, but we don't have to say what you were wrong about. Colston Loveland, good player.
I was misinformed, I think was the right word. Sure. But yeah, Colston Loveland, his new nickname floating around, Third and Loveland. It's a cool nickname.
Third and Loveland.
Third down, they always throw it to him.
That's a bad nickname.
That's a bad nickname.
I think it's cool.
It's a bad nickname.
I don't know what to do with
You wish
that.
you had a nickname like that.
Third and Loveland?
Yeah, it's third and Loveland.
I got Pookie. That's all I need.
You could have picked a couple other nicknames besides that one.
And Sandman for
That one's cool.
Micah Parsons. Yeah. Kraft Mac and Cheese.
The closer from Micah.
Yeah, also. Well, that's Halfley's nickname for him, I think, more so. But anyway. All right. Well, this has been enjoyable. All right, what else we got? Oh, we got to do stock up, stock down for the season. I've got 8 names. I'm going to throw them at Josh. I'm going to let him decide, like we did a couple weeks ago. I know where I want to put them, so I'll give my take, and then we'll see if Joshy agrees with me on stock up, stock down. We do this every week during the season, day after games. Some stocks going up, some stocks going down. But now that the regular season is in the books, we take a look at stock up and stock down. So I will say what I think. Josh, you tell me if you agree or disagree. I start with Jordan Love. Stock is up after the 2025 season. I don't think there needs to be an argument on this one.
I don't think there's a player with a bigger stock up.
I tend to agree. Although the 4 players I'm going to talk about stock up, I think you might say that for all 4 of them.
We'll see.
We will see. Let's go to stock down. Your guy, Romeo Dobbs, stock down.
Oh, jeez.
Final year in green and gold.
Free me.
It'll be his final couple weeks.
Free me from Romeo Dobbs.
You're in Dobbs jail
I've been in Dobbs prison for 2 years.
Yeah.
on his sentence.
Well, the good news for you is my next stock up is another wide receiver, and I think you could say there's no bigger stock up for Christian Watson.
Yes. I do think there's different levels to it, but he took the leap into considerably into like one of those top end guys that can be a true difference maker. It was, I don't know, maybe the slowest elevation of anybody I've seen in the NFL. It
took some time.
Took his 4th year before you really started to see, like, there was flashes certainly throughout, but he also disappeared at multiple times throughout the previous 3 years. Some of it due to injury, some of it due to just him not being open or making the plays when the ball comes to him. Yeah. And I think that changed in a big way this year.
I agree with you on that. So excited to see what he does next year in the final year of his contract. Remember, they signed him to that 1-year contract extension. We'll see. We will see what happens with him. Stock down. This is a position group. I just went with the full cornerback room. It was a problem that we knew existed in the preseason. They trade for Micah Parsons. It seems to be at least patched up, band-aided, if you will. And then Micah Parsons gets hurt, and, well, they go and sign Trayvon Diggs in an act of, well, I don't know what to call it, except an act of desperation. So stock down to that whole room.
Yeah, I mean, Carrington Valentine not being able to tackle became such a big issue. I don't know why both him and Keyshawn Nixon decide to lead with their shoulder and not, like, tackle as we all know how to, and everyone got taught the moment they learned how to play tackle football. I think in coverage, Valentine's been more than fine. It's just once the ball is caught, what happens after that, and it's oftentimes a disaster. Keyshawn Nixon, to me, is what he is. I think both those guys were fine until Micah Parsons left the field. And that was the big difference maker. I think that affected them and played what's really exposed to them. Mm-hmm. Up until that point, I do think the talk about them was largely exaggerated. Keyshawn Nixon's penalty issues is definitely something. I was shocked to see 9 get a taunting penalty and not Keyshawn.
That was sweet,
incredible.
Yeah.
That was sweet. I was a big fan of that. The little bit Keyshawn Nixon played. He what's the term kids use now? Rage bait.
Yes.
I mean, that's what happened there, right? He gave almost a late hit, but not quite a late hit. And then that dork, J.J. McCarthy.
JJ kind of ran him over.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. And then the funniest part was JJ got so angry and then instantly looked at the sideline and apologized to his team. I'm sorry, I messed up.
He's so bad, so bad. Mm-hmm. Did you hear Kevin O'Connell on him today?
No.
Ooh, non-committal. Let's just put that way.
Oh, they're going to bring somebody in.
Yeah, because if they don't, O'Connell might lose his job because of this kid.
It's going to be a mutiny.
Yeah.
He's awful.
Think there's a chance it's Malik Willis?
Sure.
We brought somebody up in the office. It might finally go. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because he felt so. He's made in classic Aaron Rodgers fashion, underhanded comments about teams deciding to go with certain guys over him. I don't know if, because
Grudge guy.
none of the leadership's going to change. So those people that made the decision to not go with him are still going to be there, and I don't know if he's going to be able to swallow his pride that much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I don't think he has the animosity that Favre did towards the Packers. Like, he still wants to be Goody, but it doesn't seem to be his driving factor.
It will not be a driving factor.
Right.
Bingo. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly what I was going to say. All right, cool. Let's go back to stock up. Injured guy. The arrow's still pointing up for Tucker Kraft. I mean, what a jump he made in the first half of the season. He was looking like, the second best tight end in football behind Trey McBride? He was awesome for this team, both in blocking, but of course in receiving. Had two really big games, one against Washington and the other against Pittsburgh, where you go, oh my goodness, he has the opportunity to be the best tight end in the NFL if he can do this consistently. So Tucker Kraft, that arrow is certainly still pointing up, even as we await for his return, hopefully early next season following the ACL tear against Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, he's the next George Kittle. George Kittle seems to be taking a step back just in terms of the injuries that are happening and slowing down a bit. When it comes to like pure playing of the tight end position and not, the more wide receiver-ish like the Trey McBrides, I don't think there's a better combination of yards after the catch and ability to be useful in the run game in the NFL right now than Tucker Kraft.
Stock down still, and it has been every year. Rich Bisaccia. That would be the change they need to make this offseason, but they're not going to.
Yeah, it feels like some change has to happen. I don't know how.
I mean, but then again, I think it goes back to how this plays out. If they make the NFC Championship game, does a change need to happen?
Probably not. They probably run it back.
Let's see. We will see. Last stock up, even better than advertised, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And obviously, we could do a bunch more of these because I think you can make a case for another edge rusher in Kingsley Enagbare, whose stock is probably up. I would always make a case for Evan Williams defensively, who I thought had an awesome year.
Yeah, I think he's quietly become sort of a star. It's just not in the most obvious way.
Yeah. Who else did I not throw in here that I just want to quickly rapid
What
fire
about
at
Matt
you?
LaFleur?
We're going to get to him in a moment. I'm thinking offensive lineman right now. Sean Ryan probably stuck up.
Yeah.
Marginally.
I mean, he played pretty well. I think Anthony Belton certainly stuck up, became like a starter and
good point.
an option there. Can't really say much about Jacobs or the pass catchers that other than what we were.
Yeah, pretty neutral for a lot of those guys is where I landed. Dontavian Wicks had one game, It's kind of hard to make a really, really strong argument for either way for a lot of those guys. All right. I put this in stock down, but I don't feel this way. I think you feel this way. And it's Matt LaFleur.
I'm stock neutral with him. I think I don't feel any better, nor do I feel any worse. I think there were times at this season where he had probably done his worst job as a play caller and a head coach. But I also do think once we saw him transition to trusting Jordan Love more and opening up the offense, we saw them become one of the most efficient offenses in all the NFL that were able to score points and get those big chunk plays that we sort of were saying, hey, it looks like this guy can do it. I don't know why we're focusing so hard on the run game. And it seems like there was a transition there. I do still think he has a ways to go in terms of like keeping his cool on the sideline, not letting his emotions get the best of him. That sort of stuff. It's certainly better than it was last year. I mean, he looked like he was going to cry like 6 different times last year. And that didn't seem to be the same. So I think all the context considered of his QB missing games, Tucker Kraft no longer being there, and sort of making the offense still function as well as it did. Like, Matt LaFleur has to have some credit for Malik Willis.
Yeah.
You have to factor that in. A guy who people were saying like doesn't know football, and then he became an NFL quarterback and a pretty damn good one when asked to, on short notice, perform while injured. So that all has to factor in.
I have one more stock down for you.
Yeah, it's Rashawn Gary.
That's not where I was going to go, actually.
I mean, the guy hasn't made a play in 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He won't be on the team next year.
I mean,
You see like 300
No, I
plus.
have a stock down that's actually just going to piss Josh off.
Uh-oh.
It's Matthew Golden.
Yeah, I think you have to at some point consider that factor.
He played every snap yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't throw the ball a whole lot.
I mean, Clayton Tune, good Lord.
Well, the offensive line
guy
give
takes
him a lot of help. But it does, his release is
It
bad.
takes an hour. Throw it. Get it out of there. What are you doing, brother? I mean, goodness. Yeah, I mean, the signs aren't good on what we've seen from Matthew Golden. I do think, and I heard Tausch sort of hint at this, I do think there might have been a not receiving his role or his lack of a role really well that probably factored into what we saw then play out through the course of the rest of the season. Because I do think every time Matthew Golden was given opportunities and was thrown the ball and allowed on the field, it looked different than everyone else on the field, aside from maybe Christian Watson.
Aside from Watson, yes.
Yeah. So that to me still gives me hope and a chance. I do think it looks a lot different if we stop pretending Romeo Doubs is anything other than just a guy and you give those opportunities to Matthew Golden. Gabe brought it up as well about how rookies and first-round picks get all this opportunity with the Green Bay Packers except for Matthew Golden, which makes me think there's more to the story than we know at this point.
Yeah.
And sure, you don't want your new rookie to come in and be saying, hey, I deserve the ball more or I deserve to be on the field more. But when you're looking across at Romeo Doubs, who can't get open against anyone, you're kind of like, well, maybe he has a point.
Yeah.
But you have to be professional. So on one side, he's right. On the other side, you can't be the young guy coming in and doing that.
Well said. I just saw you tweeting a lot about him yesterday, so I wanted to...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they didn't just say, like, hey, let's just make the game plan around Matthew Golden.
Yeah. Run your stupid end arounds.
Right. Do whatever. I don't care.
Right.
Just get him involved.
And his college quarterback, at least for a few years, was playing quarterback yesterday, so I thought the chemistry might exist there, but that's neither here nor there. All right, one final time this regular season, Will Sommers does his best Chris Berman impression and walks us through. I guess I don't know. We haven't been here for a few weeks. I don't know how long this is. I don't know what he's talking about. We're all going to find out together. It's time now for Will Sommers' Weekend in Review.
We start in Minnesota, where the Vikings hosted the UW Green Bay Club football team. Packers starting quarterback Clayton Toot was farting all over the field as he was sacked 4 times and had -7 net passing yards. In his last game of the year, 9 decided to double up to 18 as Justin Jefferson had 8 catches for 101 yards in the game. Leading the Packers in receiving was Matthew Golden. It was Jacoby Keeney James, who had 2 catches for 15 yards. Scoring in this game was like a Sandlot baseball game with C.J. Hamilton Porter scoring the lone touchdown for the Vikings right before the half to make it 13-0 Minnesota. Getting more playing time than usual, Brenton Courtney Cox wasn't looking to make any friends on the field as he had 4 QB pressures and a sack. Despite not playing his starters to get them ready for the playoffs, Matt LaFleur stayed sharp himself as he made a 2-possession game with a meaningless last-second field goal as the Packers lost 16-3. Also, Max Brosmer somehow was the most asked quarterback in that game. Let's head to Chicago now, where the Bears hosted the Lions yesterday. Even though the Lions were eliminated from getting a ring, Dan Campbell still decided to go to Jared as Goff went for 331 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Croix was getting ready for his vacation to the Virgin Islands, but decided to go out with a bang, totaling 139 receiving yards. Down 16-0 in the fourth, the Bears weren't ready to hibernate, though, as Caleb Williams found Jade Walker for a 25-yard touchdown. Looking to tie it up, Caleb Williams looked like Woody Guthrie as he sang, "This land is your land, this land is love land," and found Colston for a touchdown to tie the game. While the Bears' defense didn't have the tackle, the Lions had the bait, as Jake kicked a field goal as time expired to give the Lions a 19-16 victory over the Bears. Dear Will's Week in Review, I'm Will Sommers.
Couple good ones in there. Brenton Courtney Cox wasn't making any friends was my favorite.
You didn't like Clayton Toot? That was my favorite one.
I mean, that was right
I thought of that one.
Little sophomore.
right off the
Yeah,
rip.
very on brand for you to have a fart joke.
Yeah, I should do more of those.
Yeah.
One fart joke a week at minimum.
I don't know if we need to set rules around that.
And we're setting New Year's resolutions. That might be mine.
Kind of let it work when it works, you know. All right, speaking of New Year's resolutions, the NFL regular season has come and gone. Now, for those of you that have been with us all 18 weeks of the season, we have picked at 2 games per week. We have picked the Packers game, who's going to win that game straight up, and then picking an underdog to win the game. And we did not pick last week because it was Christmas and New Year's and stuff going on. So what we did this week was we just picked 4 games straight up. We picked up the 4 games that are the Packers and Vikings, and then the 3 games that mattered. It's Tampa Bay and Carolina on Saturday. Seattle and was it San Francisco on Saturday, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh last night. And rather than revealing our picks to one another, we all sent them to Will, and then Will sent it to his picks to Hunter because Hunter was in first place. So me and Josh are in the dark. But my understanding entering this weekend was Hunter was alone in first place. Me, Will, and Josh were all tied in last place. The season-long loser has to spend, we said wild card weekend. We may have to adjust this to divisional round weekend or championship weekend. We'll figure it out. We'll do it before the Super Bowl. At Will's apartment. If Will loses, he has to spend a weekend at Hunter's apartment in Madison with his wife, and they need to go to Costco during playoff football games, which would be Will's personal hell. Will, before I give you the floor and you walk us through who picked what, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for everybody. I went perfect this weekend. I went 4-0. I picked every game correct.
Look at you.
Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. I had to die with Pittsburgh because I've picked them a million times this year, and I picked the other 3 games correctly. You may have just seen Josh shake his head because I think that means bad things for Josh, but we will all find out together unless Will lost or Hunter may have had a bad weekend. I don't know. I didn't do the math, but I know I went 4-0, which I think effectively removes me from last place. Will, is that correct?
Let's just go through the rankings, all right? Let's start with who finished first this year.
Sure.
Alex Strouf,
Yes.
Congratulations on winning 21-14-1 on the year.
I remember when Josh, before we went to holiday break, told me I don't know ball and I was doomed to lose. That's a first place finish. Very well done.
So we had a tie then for second place, leaving the lone person in last place. So I'm just going to reveal who got last since it would give it away if we did second. In last place, Josh DiMaggio.
Yes!
That's the
thank
longest
God.
drum roll.
It was so long.
Good work, Josh.
Final record?
Me and Hunter finished at 20-15-1. Josh 18-17-1. It was all reliant actually on Tyler Loop missing that field goal. If he had made it, it would have been a 3-way tie for last place.
Oh, no.
And my idea was we picked the winner of the FCS championship tonight to decide, but we never got there, unfortunately.
Get there. Joshy?
It's unfortunate.
Josh, we're gonna have a time, dude. I got plans.
Dude.
Have you talked to your significant other about this at
No.
all? So you just all season had no intentions on losing?
I still don't have any intention on doing a full day at Will's, so.
Well, that's not how this works.
Yeah, we have been talking about this for 18 weeks.
The problem is this would be way more entertaining if it was you or... Like, I'm just going to go to Will's house.
How would that be entertaining if I do it? I hang out with Will regularly.
Because you're a moron.
So are you.
Absolutely not.
I would put you through it, Strouf. Like we wouldn't I'd make you go work out with me.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not going to do that to Josh?
No, because I'll just say no.
yeah.
That's not how this works.
Who says?
We agreed at the beginning of the season we have to do a weekend the way Will would live it. That was
Yeah,
the deal.
you have to live like Will.
We already had Will barely wear a cheese head, so the precedent has been set here.
By Will.
Yeah.
Not by you, not by me.
You didn't repunish.
You told me I had until the Super Bowl to do my Napoleon Dynamite dance.
I said you didn't repunish him. So I can half-ass it just like he half-assed it.
To be fair, the cheese head gave me a headache, which is arguably worse than having to wear the cheese head.
Dr. Denver Dan pointing at something that has me really questioning the loyalty to this program. No one on the show follows up on their bets.
Yeah?
That's Josh already saying, "Yeah, I'm not going to do it." Is the worst payoff
Josh,
to a 3.5 month bet.
We also have a.
It's been 3.5. Hold on, Hunter. 3.5 months. We've talked about this since shortly after Labor Day.
36 games.
It's 2026. It's 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh knew the punishment. He knew it was to come. And he's already saying, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all right.
There's another aspect to this as well, because it's basically a content team policy across this company that if you agree to something on the air, you have to follow through on it. Unless it like breaks some company rules, which this doesn't. Like
as somebody who's worked in content for longer than anybody here, that is absolutely incorrect.
Josh, if you're saying it on the air for 3 months, you've got to follow through.
That is absolutely definably a falsity.
To be fair, too, Josh said a couple months ago when we went over the punishment.
The
he wouldn't be able to
CEO
do
of
it.
this company was supposed to spend 24 hours at George Webb's. That's never happened.
It's because it got passed on to me, but falsely.
Yeah. See?
And did you do it?
No, because he needs to do it.
Oh, okay.
See? I could just say I got robbed. The NFL's fixed.
He didn't get robbed.
I got jobbed. I haven't even seen the official reporting and the definition.
This isn't even a bad punishment.
There's been no trackable history of this. How am I to know there's been honesty?
We've talked about the records every week.
Yeah, and how do I know Will didn't make any mistakes?
He's got a good point. You left it up to probably the least responsible person here.
Unbelievable. All right,
Josh, if you want to just go get dinner and a beer, we could call it.
No,
No, this
cool
is
with that.
pathetic.
It needs to be a slumber party.
What we need to do is make it the most unappealing day ever for them.
We're going to wake up, go on a walk. We're just going to actually go do whatever Josh wants to do. We're going to go walk his dogs, read, simultaneously read.
Put some ball on.
What if that's what I want to do on my weekend?
Have
I
a couple casual
yeah.
brewskis.
You can do whatever you want. But,
Yeah, but what if-
I just want the one piece that we agreed to was a sleepover. Josh needs to sleep over at your apartment.
What if I leave in the silence of night?
No. I'm going to do a door check. I'm going to come over at 10 p.m.,
I'm gonna call the
midnight,
cops on
and
you.
6 a.m. I'm just going to knock on the door and make sure Josh is still there.
If there's an appearance from Alex Strouf at any point, the bet's off.
Who am I to believe you that this is ridiculous? I'm very upset right now.
I'm actually
you didn't see
upset
this
about
coming?
this.
Yeah.
Like, Strouf, can we go back to where it was just you
so
and I?
long ago.
Yeah, let's kick them off the show.
Yeah, this is pathetic.
Sorry for trying to host. Sorry for volunteering.
I'm not mad at you, but you are instigating.
I'm not doing anything.
You said, do you want to go on a walk and just do a dinner and a beer? That's not the deal.
I frequently walk. I frequently
That's
go
fine.
to dinner and
The
get beer.
second that
sleepover,
Josh
it was
says no to
morning
something,
to
you'll
morning.
cave. The
It was
second
24
he
hours.
complains.
That's what we agreed to.
It's also 20. Like it's a new me.
We
this year.
Yeah.
You don't know what I like to do.
We initially said
That
all
was-
weekend.
2025 Will was so much different than this year.
Different time, different guy.
Josh, you see Marty Supreme yet?
It's time.
No.
It's
Go
time.
see that.
It's time now. It's time now for what we missed. 2026, new year, new you, huh?
New me.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a rumor about you.
Did you hear it from me?
I did hear from
So
you.
it's not a rumor.
What'd you do?
So I bought a cold tub, like an inflatable cold tub, and I blew it up in my bathroom. So now I just have instant access to a cold tub whenever I want. And it's like 32 inches, so it takes up like way too much room in the bathroom. It looks horrible. I forgot to take a picture because I have to put like towels under it too, so it doesn't like slide out or move. But yeah, I'm a proud cold tub owner. I'm a cold tubber.
Are you aware?
Basically Goggins.
Are you aware
Basically,
that?
Hawkins.
How many gallons is it?
It's like 400. It's a lot.
400.
Okay, maybe 100. It might be 400 quarts.
You do realize you live in an apartment building that probably isn't rated to have that much weight.
100 gallons.
I didn't fill it up all.
Well,
the way.
I don't think it's 100 gallons,
It's a lot of gallons.
It has to be for a human body to fit in it.
but not 100.
I mean, how big are they?
It's 32 inches.
I would guess maybe 20 gallons.
Yeah, maybe that. I don't know.
Huh?
What?
I don't.
20?
I think you're underestimating how much you get. Like,
I don't think you understand.
this is like the same as
like
if you.
space.
It's the same as if you filled up the bathtub with water.
Yeah, that's not 100 gallons. Is
I don't
it?
know how much it is. I'd have
No.
to go look at
I'm
that.
gonna start
thinking of
looking
ice
up
cream
cold
pails.
tubs.
I'm thinking of ice cream pails, right? So like, I can't fit 100 of those in my.
Why
in my
wouldn't
tub.
you think
Here,
a
I
gallon of
Googled a few
milk
of them.
or the gallons of water? You go to ice
186,
cream?
86, 118, 115,
Yeah.
212. These are all different sizes of inflatable.
But he lives in a small apartment. Well, it's not a small apartment by any
Yeah,
means.
what are you
but
trying to say?
But your bathroom is
live
not
lavishly.
large.
I mean, I'm the only one that uses it. I could do whatever I want with it.
This is bad.
Will, can't you Google where you bought this and tell us how much?
I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, so.
Oh, good lord! So somebody else has been naked.
What's
in
it
that
called?
thing.
Do you know the name
No,
of
it's
it?
unused. Yeah, hold on, I can look it up. I think it was over 100 though, for sure.
New year, new will.
It almost certainly is. 20 gallons is.
It's way more than.
But think
20.
about it. Somebody just pointed it out.
150
Water displacement,
150 gallons.
dude.
You realize that's
But how many gallons are you of that then?
what?
Because water displacement, if
That's
you weigh
not how that
100 and
works.
however many pounds, if
I
you put
think-
150 gallons in there,
sure-
it's all gonna spill out.
No, I didn't fill it up all the way. I said that. I filled it up like 3/4 halfway. Because when you get in, it's like I go crisscross applesauce. It's not like a huge. Like,
How long do you sit in there?
I did 4 minutes this morning.
How cold does it get?
It's pretty cold. I fill up like Tupperware containers and put them in the freezer, and I put it in there. And this morning it didn't even dissolve at all or melt. So it's pretty cold.
How bad's the shrivel?
Horrible.
How do you get? Where is it in your bathroom? Because I've been in many apartments.
It's just
Something-
right in the middle
I
of
was
the
going
floor.
to say something that large
Yeah.
would be a huge.
Joshy, don't worry. You're gonna be able to find it for
We'll
yourself.
see. Maybe I don't even actually go to that bathroom.
Yeah, there's 2 bathrooms.
There's 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right in the way of everything.
As the nice guy I am, I helped them move in. I know what it looks like.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Is it the standard, like every bathroom in an apartment
Yes.
you've been in, where it's thin and
has a-
longer?
Yeah. Yep.
And there's
Has a
almost
sink.
no way you could avoid a 32-inch
Oh,
cold
you
tub.
can't. You're not avoiding that. I'm shocked it even fit in
How
there.
easy is it to get like past the counter space?
How large is this in comparison to your love sack?
Not even close to as big. The love sack was massive.
Okay. Because I know you stuffed that in your closet and it took up the entire closet.
Yeah, no, it's like. I mean, it takes up like a good amount of room, but it is like a bigger bathroom. It's not very narrow, like Josh said. It's like a square.
All right. We're late, but I also want to give my life update. New year, new me. I'm a reader now. I read now. I'm starting to read books for the first time in a long time. I wanted to be more like Josh in 2026. So I made a Goodreads account. You can add me. Just look up Alex Strouf if you're on Goodreads.
Describe, don't tell me the title.
Okay.
What genre of book have you decided you're a reader of?
I don't do fiction, so I do nonfiction.
Oh, you're that guy.
Well,
Ugh,
I haven't dove
the
into
worst.
fiction yet. Are you a fiction guy?
Yes.
Okay. I'm currently
Almost
reading.
exclusively, like 90-10.
Really?
Yes.
I'm currently reading a nonfiction book.
Okay, well, that leaves a lot of things open. That could be anything.
Okay. Do you have any follow up questions, or is that the end of the
No,
conversation?
I'm less interested now.
Josh, are you anti like Audible and audiobooks? Because I think I've discovered that.
Anti.
No, I was just curious because I started listening to a few books on over the like break here, and I'm like, oh, this might
Why
be the
would
route
they-
for me.
I
I'm not
don't
like-
wrong
like
with
when
that?
people call it reading.
It's not reading.
No.
It's more podcasting, but
if-
it's still informative, and you're still going through the story. Yeah.
Yes, and there's some books, even fiction books, do a really good job of like bringing you into the scene. And sometimes the author reads it themselves.
I mean,
and,
I'm reading a book. I'm reading a book about the early days of the National Football League.
oh, jeez.
It's called The League. It's about the 5 most transformative owners in the 1930s.
See, what's going to happen is this is going to die out for you because you're not reading interesting books.
No, it is super interesting. I read 190 pages the first day. 190. It's a
Going too hard,
450
too
page
fast.
book.
Got to pace yourself, Strouf. You're gonna get burnt out.
No, here's the thing, man. Like I'm looking forward to going home and reading tonight. It's crazy.
I think what
Dude,
you
the
need to
FCS
do.
championship game is on tonight. What are you doing?
I think what you need to do is you need to find the books written by like Eric Larson, The Devil in the White City, that are true stories,
Ooh.
but written almost as if they are like fiction.
Yeah, I'd be game for that.
There's a bunch of things I could, and that will sort of open your eyes and ears to not just reading nonfiction, because nonfiction, a lot of times you'll think something's interesting, and then you're halfway through it, and you're like, God, this is inane and informational and not like
No, but
interesting.
that's stuff that scratches my brain. I like that stuff.
You
You know how I always talk about Wikipedia?
trust me, I have very much the same approach to stuff.
The expert.
It gets very boring.
All right, we're really late. All right, we got to go. We'll be back with you Wednesday beginning at 12:30 Central, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. You can also find us wherever our podcasts are available, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and, of course, the all-new customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. If you haven't downloaded that already, you can move Mr. Irrelevant right to the top of your page. I did it. It's lovely. You can get our show right when you open the app. It's awesome. All right, we'll talk to you on Wednesday beginning at 12:30. Peace.